Hey everyone, this is Laura Williamson from Bear Fitness, also located in Stoneham. Today's show we have Tino. Everyone say hey, give her a round of applause. And Jan is with us today, and she is going to tell us who she is and what she does. We are going to talk about craniosacral therapy. Did I say that right, Jan?
Exactly, you got it.
Oh my God, new words, big words, and then we're going to talk about massage therapy. We're going to talk about Reiki. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. So, Jan, welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you very much. Hi. I started my day job is I'm a software quality engineer, and I say it's the same job twice because I'm working with systems and I'm looking at the systems and I'm trying to find any restrictions, raise it to the person that owns it, try and help find the root cause and see what we can do to solve it. So that's how I look at my life. I took a brief break for 4 years and I became a licensed massage therapist. And then I wanted to, go back into software. And I've maintained my license and my certifications and my insurance and all of that good stuff, and have done it part-time. One of the things that I did to keep up my certifications was take continuing education units in craniosacral therapy. I fell in love with it. That one class was all it took, and I have spent about almost 10 years now taking more and more advanced classes and becoming technique certified in craniosacral therapy.
But that's not all that you do.
No, I say that it's an integrative therapy because I also use some of my techniques from massage therapy, do a little myofascial release, and Reiki. I can also do energy work. And in craniosacral therapy, for me, just kind of ties everything together.
Okay, so I'm new. I'm new to most of it. The only thing I understood, honestly, that you just talked about was the fascia and all that. I understood that, but could you please take your time and walk us through? Can you start with the craniosacral therapy and then work your way through so we have a clear understanding of what it all means and what you do specifically for each?
Absolutely. So what we're doing is working with the central nervous system. So it's from the cranium all the way down the spine to your sacrum.
Okay.
And releasing restrictions in the dural tube. That has wide-ranging effects throughout the whole body. And if you'd like, I can show you a couple of slides on the presentation that may illustrate that a little bit better.
Oh, that would be awesome. Okay, great. Let's see what we can find out, what more we can learn. Okay.
So this is me, licensed massage therapist, nationally certified in craniosacral therapist. And my slides are not advancing. Here we go.
Wait, we lost you. There you go. There you go. Sorry, we lost you for a moment. We got you back. That's technology. That's technology at its finest.
LMT is the licensed massage therapist. I'm nationally certified. And the CST is craniosacral therapist, technique certified. And that's the Upledger Institute. And I'm also a Reiki master, which is Japanese Rei is universal, Ki or Chi is life force energy. And we'll get into some of that as well.
Okay.
So just a little bit of background. Craniosacral therapy was developed by Dr. John Upledger, who was working with a research team at Michigan State. They were trying to advance the work of cranio-osteopathy from William Garland Sutherland. They did a lot of different work. They did work with biofeedback. They did a lot of really cool work together. Dr. Upledger started a clinic to be able to teach these techniques that they discovered to licensed massage therapists, physical therapists, as well as other medical professionals. He opened his classes to some family members so that they can also support the work at home. So there are some special needs people that this population that this work really works well with, and there are some techniques that you are actually able to do at home. So he was able to train people as well. So basically, we have two principles. As we said, we're working with the central nervous system. And this is, I know it's probably a little hard to see on the video here, but these are all, along the spinal column here. These are all the root nerves. And that's why we say it has wide-ranging effects throughout the entire body. So we can get to all, all the major organs and the end nerves in the muscles to help relax and release tension.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is. It's really amazing work. And it's very, very gentle work. So again, we're working with the fascia, as you mentioned. The slide on the left is a sort of obviously blown up version of what fascia is. Fascia is the connective tissue that is one contiguous sheet throughout your entire body. And the way that I explain it is, if there's a restriction in one area, in massage school, we learned where the pain is, it ain't.
Right.
It's called referred pain. An example of that is if you're pulling on your shirt, right? You're pulling on it. The restriction is here, but you're feeling it here in the back of your neck. So that's one of the ways that releasing tension in one area affects a very distant area, is by releasing tension in fascia. So we're also working with the fascial system. So other therapies that improve fascia, craniosacral therapy, of course, myofascial relief, rolfing, massage, and there are some self-care techniques, and everything from, stretching, Pilates, right? Foam rolling, air Pilates.
I'm all about the foam rolling too. I'm familiar with the foam rolling.
But seriously, so and understand this work. It's very important to keep our fascia hydrated and loose, so that we can move better. And it's really important work. And there's lots of different ways to be able to do that. Another component of craniosacral therapy is SER, or SomatoEmotional Release. This is because a lot of the tensions that we hold are actually physical and emotional. I'm sure you've had clients come in and say, I don't know why I have all this pain in my neck and I'm really not sure what's going on. It's like you're stressed. Exactly. You're totally
not like me.
So a lot of our stress and tension, is held within, the muscles and the cells of the body. And so we can release those emotions, just like we can, lengthen a muscle through Pilates, or lengthen a muscle through massage techniques. We can also help relax some of that tension through SomatoEmotional Release, where we're working with the body to release that tension and stress, or whatever it is, any kind of emotion.
Okay.
And so I have here a little teaser that this is really strongly enhanced in working in the water, because in the water you can get in all kinds of positions that you can't get to on a table. Your body can move more freely and is able to release. And the water work is absolutely amazing. And I've been lucky enough to do some training in the Bahamas and work with the dolphins. And I've also been able to do some echosomatic treatments, which is with other animals. And I can show you a slide about that.
Oh, I would love to see that. Bring it on. Let's see the dolphins.
I know. Can we get to the dolphins already?
All right.
So this is a slide from the Integrative Intentions. They run the program for the Upledger Institute in the Bahamas.
Okay.
And I absolutely recommend this to anybody. I believe it's a 4-day program.
Mm-hmm.
And once we're all able to travel again, it's a great thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You would have 4 days of intensive therapy where you would have table work and maybe multi-hands work, which is multiple therapists in the morning, and say going to the pools. You can also do some work in the water, and then you get an afternoon session, or vice versa. You could have a morning session with the dolphins. And this just shows the therapists are standing on the ledge,
Mm-hmm.
gently holding the client's feet. And the dolphins are really doing the work. We're just the co-therapist in that situation. The water is relaxing and soothing. The clicks and noises and music from the dolphins are very relaxing and soothing to people. But beyond that, it's so interesting to see the dolphins come around and maybe touch someone on the head, or maybe touch somebody, with their rostrum on the shoulder, or swim beneath them and the bubbles come up and hit different areas that people are experiencing pain or injury.
Wow, that sounds peaceful. I can't swim, Jan, but I'm willing to go out and do some dolphin assisted therapy
It's
right
amazing.
now. That sounds. I always try one thing that I wouldn't do at home when I travel. I would be willing to give this a try. I can at least float in water. I can do that much. So,
Absolutely. It's salt water, it's seawater, and it's beautiful. And this
okay.
particular facility that they use in the Bahamas, the dolphins, while it looks like a small pen, that's sort of just the picture, it's actually a large area, and it's open. They can swim underneath that barrier, and they can go into private areas. They can go into another area. One therapy program that we had doing this, there's a lot of practitioners who go back year after year, and the dolphins get to know them. And so they've had dolphins come and crash a session.
Mm-hmm. What made you decide to go and do this? How
It's
did
kind of
one
cool.
process information? Like, how does that happen? Like, oh, I'm gonna go and learn this, and I'm gonna give this a try with the dolphins and do some assisted therapy. Where do you get that information? How does that happen?
Again, so the Integrative Intentions runs the program for the Upledger Institute.
Okay.
It is for them. So I heard about it through the Upledger Institute, and I'd heard about it for years, and I went, yeah. And then, I don't know, I talked to so many people who did it and loved it. I said, okay, I've got to try this. So I actually did 2 back-to-back programs. One was where I could also be the client.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of did a regular training session where sometimes I was the client, sometimes I was the practitioner. And it was just amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And I had stayed for the second week where we did more advanced training. And I was hoping to go back because we also do comprehensive therapy programs where you go as a client, as I said, for 4 or 5 days. And I was hoping to do that, but I don't think that's going to happen this year.
Yeah. But this sounds unbelievable. That sounds incredible. I've never heard of such a thing, but I think anything that helps it. Again, it sounds like being connected to your environment. That's what it sounds like.
Absolutely. It is. It's treating with the water. It's treating with the dolphins, being aware of the other therapists and the things that are happening around you. It's just fabulous, fabulous work. There's really nothing like it. So I recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
This is another program that I did. Again, this was through Integrative Intentions. And it's called ecosomatics therapy. So this was at the Big Cat Habitat in Sarasota, Florida. And all of these animals were rescued, basically, and they live in this environment. And as you can see, it almost looks like we're the ones in the cage in this picture because they have these big open spaces and we're restricted to the smaller space. This was amazing. We had one girl with spina bifida, and she wanted to dance. So she was on the table and had 6 therapists with her, and her jam was Frosty the Snowman, which was absolutely adorable. We're all singing Frosty the Snowman to her and helping her dance. And it was just absolutely incredible. And there was another little boy who had who was almost nonverbal,
Mm-hmm.
and when he was having a release, you could see his mouth opening, and all of a sudden, the lions. This is not a picture of a lion. They were lions, and the lion would roar.
Oh.
It was just they were so in tune, and as you can kind of see from the picture in the middle, the cats are right there. They're right near us, and
Mm-hmm.
they got attached to some of the clients and some of the therapists, and they would come along and assist.
Oh.
It was amazing.
Oh, that's amazing. That sounds fantastic. I can't even imagine.
Being aware of your environment is very key. And
Yeah, but how, my question to you then in that case, in knowing that this is important, how is someone going to be aware of their environment if they're not even aware of themselves? You know?
great question. Great
You
question.
know, I wonder about that.
That's one of the things that I love about the work that I do in all of it, in massage therapy and craniosacral therapy, and yoga, because right now I practice out of yoga moves, which is also in Stoneham.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, the Pilates, anything that brings clients into their body,
Right.
being aware of how you use your body. Again, holding tension, different things, just how you move, how you use your body, repetitive motions. Everybody in offices are, talking about making sure that, everything's at the right height and ergonomically correct, and making sure that you're taking care of your body. There's all kinds of ways. Meditation, anything that brings you that calms your central nervous system, that brings you into your body and makes you more aware, is so important.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I completely agree with that. That it's easy to lose the connection too when you have so many obligations and you're being pulled in so many different directions. It's easy to miss it. It's
Absolutely.
very easy to miss it.
Absolutely. Just slowing down. And I think that's one of the interesting things that I keep hearing about this particular time of COVID, is that people are finding that they are slowing down, and they are, figuring out what matters.
I call it awakening.
Yeah.
Really. And speaking of awakening, let me ask you this. So Reiki, um,
Yes.
I've only had one encounter myself personally with Reiki, and I don't know a lot about it. So can you give us some idea of what Reiki is
Mhm.
and how you got into doing Reiki?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I I had left software for a while. I went through a bunch of life changes all at the same time, and needed to change my life. So
Mhm.
I wound up going to massage school.
Mhm.
One of my favorite instructors said that is the biggest path to yourself, and she was so right. Getting that much body work,
Mhm.
you have no hope but to learn more about yourself.
Mhm.
And she was really interesting, and one of the keys actually, and wound up becoming my Reiki instructor, because I kept kind of picking up on certain things, and just feeling different things. I'd be working with someone, and it was like, well, I don't understand, this is weird, or I'm picking up this, or I don't understand. And
Mhm.
she said, Jan, that's the energy. And she explained Reiki, which is the universal life force energy. And
Mhm.
then people chi, like qigong, tai chi. The chi is the energy that is flowing through every living thing.
Mhm.
And she was like, yeah, you need to learn this, because you also need to learn to have better boundaries, and protect yourself a bit, so that you're not always picking up people's energy.
I've
I
heard
tend,
that.
yeah, I tend to be a
I've
little
heard
empathic.
that. Yeah, I heard I've heard I've had a couple of clients, believe it or not, who there was one term that was thrown out to me was energy vampire, but that's not what you're talking about. And
They're the ones that suck energy from us, and so
yeah,
something like this can help protect you that way too.
Yeah, and they said there are many people. It's tiring. It can be very tiring for a lot of people, because if you don't block some of it, it's very easy to be drained and lose a lot of your energy and that the force and sort of like. So I've encountered so many interesting people about various topics related to this.
Yes.
And I always find it interesting, and especially where I in particular have a friend who herself will even tell you, she's like, I take on everybody's energy and it's so tiring. And then another thing is she had also mentioned to me, like, I have to find a way to protect myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think someone actually had mentioned to me once, like, one of the ways that you can protect yourself is you have to imagine a wall. You have to literally build a wall around yourself. Like you want the energy to go out. You don't always want it to come in, because it can take a toll on you personally. So you want to help everybody or help as many people as you can, but not to the expense of your own self. So I just found that some of that interesting.
It's very cool. That's one of the things too that this work has helped me with personally is
Mm-hmm.
when I'm working on someone, again, from massage school, I kind of do the thing where you sit down at the table, you ground yourself first, make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you're grounded, because you really shouldn't be touching somebody else if you're not grounded.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to give them anything. You're supposed to just receive information and help.
Mm-hmm.
Help facilitate, which is all I do, is facilitate. They do the work. I just suggest, and they can choose to take the suggestions or not. It's like anything in life, like I'm sure you with your clients, you can teach anybody anything, but if they're not willing to learn it, they're not going to get it, and they're not going to get the improvements that they want.
Right.
So I sit down and I ground first, and as I put my hands on the client, I sort of, introduce myself and, silently, and say, I'm here to help, and da da da. But I also do what's yours is yours and what's mine is mine. You can give me the information, but I'm not taking anything.
Mm-hmm.
So your bad mood, your, problem, your whatever, you can't get better by passing it on to someone else. You have to work through that yourself. So I do that. And I sometimes it depends on the situation, but sometimes I do kind of do like a Reiki protection thing for
Mm-hmm.
myself. I also sometimes I've heard the Archangel Michael, I believe, with the green light
Mm-hmm.
surrounding you, and his angel and his band of mercy could
Mm-hmm.
be, surrounding you in the green light.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard people the white light from within.
Okay.
I've also been taking some Qigong classes, and
Okay.
there are Qigong ways to kind of protect yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
kind of do like a bubble around yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
again, you can get in what you need, what serves you, what feeds you, but
Mm-hmm.
you're protecting yourself from that which does not serve you.
Wow, that's incredible. So tell me, what type of person, like who are your clients? Who should come see you? You know?
I actually I do really well with middle-aged women with anxiety.
Okay. All right.
Maybe because I can relate. I don't know.
How's that happen? No. I have no idea how that might happen at all. No.
That's honestly. No, but I have a really wide variety of clients. I have people who come for physical reasons, especially really acute injuries.
Mm-hmm.
The work is really great, the craniosacral therapy. So that's the thing. I was trying to kind of in my work, between my background with the software engineering, that kind of keeps me more grounded and more practical and more into the structural end of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have that energy side. So it's a really good balance. And I usually get pretty good results from my clients. I see everyone from people with migraines,
Mm-hmm.
and we try to reduce them. We try to get to the root and, reduce them or help them go away. I've been working with people. I had, as I said, an acute injury. I had someone who had a bulging discs and couldn't even go to physical therapy, came to see me after 2 sessions, was able to go to PT, and the PT said, keep doing whatever you're doing. So we worked together, and that he would come to me and then go to PT. And within, I'd say 6 weeks, kind of went from his head from this position to almost straight.
Nice. Well, that being said, how often would someone come see you, and how long are the sessions?
It really depends. I have to say, I initially think a 60 to 90 minute session is really important, at least a 60-minute session. I do offer 30 minutes, and it depends on the person. It depends on what your goals are. It depends on what your finances are.
Okay.
But I think at least for the first couple of sessions, 1-hour sessions are pretty good. And it depends on what your goals are. Sometimes we can address things in one session. Not all the time. Usually within 3 sessions, you know if this work is for you or not. A lot of times people come back for maintenance as well.
How often does someone come back for maintenance?
It depends. Usually monthly. That seems to be the most common.
Why can't I do it myself? Can't I do a little fascial release and meditate a little bit on my own? Isn't that enough?
And that may be for you.
Okay.
You may need help. You may need help balancing your craniosacral system, the dural tube, because, for example, like I said, I do a lot of work. A lot of us are imbalanced, and it's not chiropractic, but it is based in osteopathy. So we are using the bones to make micro adjustments. And I really mean micro. I'm not going out and adjusting people. I'm not a chiropractor, but micro adjustments in the muscles, in the fascia, because think of it, the width of a nerve is about the strand of one hair. And if you have an impinged nerve, it doesn't take much to release that. And this is my favorite word. It makes me sound smart. Fascia has thixantropic properties, and that means it melts to the touch.
Okay.
So all you need is a very gentle touch. And sometimes it's patience. In the work that I do, and John Barnes is really big in the myofascial world. His thing is holding a release. Like once you get it, you still hold it 2 to 3 minutes. And that's the same thing with craniosacral therapy. Sometimes we're just holding space and allowing that movement to happen.
Now you do this, you said you've been doing some of this virtually too. How does that happen? How do you do that?
The only thing that I'm doing virtually is Reiki, because you can do
Reiki. Okay.
You can do distance Reiki. I can't do craniosacral therapy. It's a hands-on therapy.
It has to be hands-on. Okay.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to get in touch with you, obviously we have your information scrolling on the bottom, but how would you like people to reach out to you? What's your preference, despite all the information rolling down the bottom of the screen here?
Yeah, I think I think email is absolutely probably the best way to get me. I don't always get to check it all the time, but I will get back to you within a week. The other thing is to contact Lori Russell, who owns Yoga Moves, and her website is, I believe it's eyogamoves.com. But if you look up yoga in Stoneham, Yoga Moves is there, and there's a lot of our information on that site as well. And she's got some other practitioners doing some other work.
Yeah, she's actually not too far. She's literally around the corner from my studio, so she's not that far. So before I let you go, one last important question I have to ask is, everyone's having a difficult time right now. These are challenging times for people. So what's your recommendation? Is there any bit of advice that you could give any of us to kind of help us muddle through, if you will?
Yeah, honestly, take care of yourselves. Try to tune in, listen to your body, slow down, do Pilates, do yoga, meditate, pray, whatever it is for you. Just find ways to relax and check in, and don't listen to the news all the time.
I agree with that one. I totally, because you're saturated all day long. It doesn't stop. It just keeps going. And it can't, stay aware, but don't
Be
Don't
aware of
overdo
what you need to do, but don't be obsessed with it.
it. Yeah, it doesn't help. It really doesn't help.
Mhm.
But Jan, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for taking time with us. This is such an awesome topic. I enjoyed today's show thoroughly. So again, thank you, Jan. Check us out. Check Jan out. Check me out. You can come visit me at the studio. You can see me online too. I have workouts online. I've been training that way, and I can train you virtually if you want. Pilates, personal training, you name it. Nutrition therapy, health coaching, all of it. I'm here for you. Jan's here for you. We're both here for you.
Nutrition, huge.
Nutrition. Yes, nutrition. All
Oh,
right. That's a different show. All right. All right. Bye, everyone. We're going to see you next time. Thank you. Jan, thank you again. And
thank
everyone, I'll see you next show and I'll see you next workout. All right. Take care. Bye.
you. Bye.